What's good? What's good? What's good, sports world? Welcome to Late Night Sports. I'm your host, Mookie Hawkins, on the ones and twos, DJ Ready Rob, and in the booth with me, my guy, Andre the Torch Robinson. Rise Up Family Network is in the building. I like to say, what's up to you on Twitter, Facebook, Nassau, Pluto, Mars, wherever you are from tuning in. What's really good with you? We're going to have ourselves a great show today. All right, we're going to hear from Coach Andy Reid. All right, we're going to see why he likes chocolate cake so much. All right, and we're going to talk about, we're going to talk to Coach McDermott. All right, we got my man, Dr. Josh, and of course, Steph Finesse. You'll hear from those guys. But, we're going to have a few things to discuss. How will Devin Singletary be the difference in Sunday's game versus the Chiefs? All right, do Deebo Samuel walk into Green Bay's trap and take over their trap on Sunday? And can Joe Burrow and company upset the Tennessee Titans? Now, we're going to leave Brady and them alone. Now, if you want to talk about Brady, you can call in and talk about that too. 716-837-1112. You know what to do. Holla at your boy. Lucky caller will win, courtesy of Rachel's Mediterranean Grill. Make sure you're eating clean with Dylan with Rachel's. Now, here it is. Big Boy Ball, Part 3. I say Part 3 because AFC Championship, the Sunday Nighter, and now another Sunday Nighter for all the marbles. Big Boy Ball, the trilogy. Bills, Chiefs. The preparation began today. I had the opportunity to speak with Coach Josh, Steph, Finesse, and once again, I'll tell you this. These guys are locked in. Like I've been saying it all week, and I've been saying it before. They've been here before. All right? They've been here before. They know what's at stake. All right. And they're not getting too high. They're not getting too low. They're taking care of business 1 week at a time. And then so happens, it's just that, hey, it's Kansas City. People would have thought that they would have probably met up in the AFC Championship game this year to do it all over again. But guess what? No, this is round 2. 2-man enter, 1-man leaves, and moving on to the AFC Championship game. Who will it be? All right. We already know who it's going to be. All right, if I got anything to do with it, we all know what it's going to be. But nevertheless, we had an opportunity to speak with the coaches and pick their brains a little bit on, strategy, what the Chiefs like to do in reference to how they are able to be explosive, as well as how, the Bills are explosive. So here it is. We got Coach McDermott talking in reference to about the Chiefs' quick game. Good morning. Now, after watching, what are you eating there, man?
I'm trying to get a little snack in here before practice because Derek next me. I'm on his to-do list, I guess.
Absolutely, you got to get those nutrients in, right, Coach? But after watching tape, how much is eye discipline and assignment football to you? How important is that?
Yeah, it's huge to playing good defense. Discipline overall as a football team. Discipline with eyes, discipline with feet. That's key.
Absolutely. And last year, after the AFC Championship game, you told me some of the advantages that Kansas City had with size, speed, and physicality. Now, we know what Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill could do, but Kansas City quick game with guys like Pringle, Hartman, and now Jared McKinnon. How physical must this defense be at the point of attack concerning their quick game, Coach?
Yeah, their quick game is lethal because they can turn a 2-yard catch, screen into a big play into a 70-yard touchdown because of the speed that they have on offense. So just an overwhelming amount of weapons on that side of the ball, just to name that side of the ball. But I think Brett Beach has done a great job of putting together a balanced roster because when you look at special teams in the return game, their kicking game, and then obviously the defense and what they've done with that defensive line this season as well.
No doubt, Coach. Tell that guy over there on your left side I said hello, and good luck this week.
All right. Thanks.
All right, there it is, Coach McDermott. He was eating apples Everybody want to know what he was eating. Coach is like a healthy guy. He's like a health nut. He's very fit. He be lifting. Hey, Coach is in shape, man. Coach can probably still play if he wanted to. I don't know if he necessarily got the speed, but he definitely can bring the physicality because he definitely is in shape. So,
Mook, how does that work? You eating apples? I heard that one apple a day keep the doctor away.
Oh man,
but how does that work when you already got the doctor in your forefront?
Hey man, the doctor is on deck in the facility. It works well when the doctor's sick. The doctor's probably giving them the apples, right? Shout out to my guy Derek Boyoko, director of PR. That's the guy that that was Coach McDermott was in reference to on his to-do list. But nevertheless, man, their quick game. The Bills must be physical. We cannot be playing off in pre-snap coverage versus the Kansas City Chiefs because the only thing that's going to happen is a quick screen to somebody. All right, so we cannot be playing off coverage, playing soft, playing passive-aggressive, and Kansas City is going to make us pay when we do that. So that's why I spoke with Coach in last year after, they lost the AFC Championship game. He said it himself, size, speed, and physicality. So these guys have to be – we already know what Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill is going to do. But the other guys, the Jarrett McKinnons, the Demarcus Robinsons, the Cole Harmons, and, Pringles, they are going to be the ones that's going to have to be X factors for the Kansas City Chiefs to take the pressure off Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill. Same thing on the flip side with the Bills. Devin Singletary and company are going to have to take the pressure off of, Stephon Diggs and company for that to happen. So it's going to be, like Josh Allen said, a slugfest. And, we're going to have to see, it's going to be a chess match. It ain't going to be checkers. That's for damn sure. That's for damn sure. It is not going to be a checkers game. But nevertheless, we do have Coach Reed on here. All right. And I had to ask him reference to like the creativity. And how does he, with that creativity, how does he, share the ball? And this is what Coach Reed had to say. Coach Reed, Mookie Hawkins, Wufo Sports 1080. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing good, Mookie.
Mr. Chocolate Cake himself. Now, adjustments are key in football, but you're one of the best to ever done it. What actually goes into making those adjustments? And care to talk about Coach Bieniemy's creativity to get all your weapons involved in that offense?
Yeah, well, I'm lucky to have Coach Bieniemy. I'm hoping I don't have him much longer because he deserves to be a head football coach in this league. And so I'm selfish that way, probably in a bad way for me, but a good way for him. And he does a phenomenal job with creativity and thinking of things and bring things to the table and organizing, and then he's with the quarterback every day. So he does all of that. I'm very lucky to have him. He also played for me at one time. So, I played against each other when I was at Missouri and he was at Colorado, and now, and then he played for me at Philadelphia. So we've got kind of an extended relationship with him. So.
Yeah, he's a beast at both.
Yes. Yeah. Very good. Very good.
Hey, I wish you nothing but the best, Coach. Good luck on Sunday.
All right, yeah, thank you. Probably have time for a couple more, guys.
There it is, Coach Reed. I was just a little short and brief. He didn't really answer my question on adjustments because, he's not going to let me know on how he, make those adjustments. But Coach Reed is one of the best that ever done it when it comes to making those adjustments. And, that's going to be key too as well. I'm quite sure that the Bills offense are going to throw things at Kansas City, the base. Me being a coach, I'm going to see what you've been watching on film. All right, so I'm going to throw my old base stuff at you just to see if you've been studying film to try to stop that. Now, if you do not stop my old base, then guess what? I'm going to continue to kill you in that old base until you make an adjustment. And then that's when I'm going to come with the new base. All right, I'm going to counter that. So I'm quite sure on this level that those coaches are going to do the same thing. And that's going to be the difference. Don't show your hand. You don't want to show your hand too early. And sometimes the Bills do show their hand early. The Bills definitely show their hand early, and, they be in their own way sometimes. But as of late, you're only as good as your last game. The Bills played flawless. It was another flawless victory by the Buffalo Bills offense, nevertheless. So, it sounds like we got a caller on deck, real quick here. No? They was asking for Peter. Was it Bart Simpson or somebody playing around giving us prank calls? But, Dre, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, first and foremost, my first question is this. After I have to mention that the Buffalo Bills definitely, structured their team for Kansas City this year after last year's loss. That Stephon Diggs looking into the crowd in Kansas City still is heir apparent. Okay, this is the trilogy, like you mentioned. I want to know, do they have enough pass rush to get the job done? Because that's something they didn't do last year as far as getting to Patrick Mahomes. That's where it all starts. It starts in the trenches, in the front four. Mm-hmm. Do you think that this front four, with the rotation that they have it to get to him so that the Jerry McKinney don't even get started, so that the Pringles don't get started? Mm-hmm. Once you pop, you can't stop, right? Guys like DeMarcus Robinson don't get going. When you game plan, I'm hoping and praying that they game plan for Tyreek and that other tight end, Travis Kelce.
Well, the Beast and the Cheetah, the Beast and the Cheetah. And they were able to contain the Beast and the Cheetah last game. Now, in the AFC Championship game, once again, they combined for 22 catches and over 290 yards, two touchdowns. That was insane. The second go-round, they combined for 13 catches, 120 yards, and one touchdown.
It's a lot better.
So it's a lot better, but they were able to contain those. And first of all, they didn't allow Kelce to get free release off the line. You want to bump and run off the line, and then you want to bracket coverage Tyreek Hill. But in hindsight, doing that is going to leave some one-on-one matches with guys like Pringo and Mecole Hardman. So guys like Taron Johnson and obviously Levi Wallace is definitely going to have to earn his next contract, going into this matchup, because last game, teams were, going after him. All right, they weren't going after Dane Jackson. On just about every third down, they were going after Levi Wallace.
They did. In fact, Micah Hyde made that lovely interception. Right. If he's not there, that's a
Kansas City is going to do the exact same thing. On third down, they are going to be targeting Levi Wallace. Now, I'm quite sure that he's ready for that. I'm going to wait, on Friday to, reveal that question to Coach McDermott on how he feel about teams going at Levi Wallace, specifically on third down. But guess what? The Bills are one of the best teams in the NFL, the best defense when it comes to getting teams off the field on third down. All right. Now, in reference to, that we got a quarterback, we got quarterback play. All right. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, everybody want to say, okay, this is the next coming of Brady, Manning, and all that good stuff. But it's a lot of quarterbacks up and coming in this AFC right now. But hey, these are two of the elite up and coming guys. And, this is the third time they matched up. To answer your question, though, they did get after Mahomes. They were able to sack him twice. They were able to force 2 fumbles and force 2 interceptions. So, with the guys, how they've been playing. And back then, the Bills were kind of playing still a little passive aggressive, but still managed to get after Patrick Mahomes. This second stretch of the season, the Bills have been playing way more aggressive on defense, getting after quarterbacks. They was getting at the Mac Jones, and then the week prior they had 9 sacks versus the Doodoo Jets. But nevertheless, they were aggressive, and they put those stats up. So that's key. You want to flush Patrick Mahomes to his left. You don't want to force him to the right. You want to force him to the left and force him to make a bad play, just like, they were doing with Josh Allen with cover 2 shell and all that good stuff. So, once again, it's going to boil down to getting stops, and I know that the Bills' defense can get stops. Matt Milano did not play in the second game. I might add to that. But, we did have the services of Tre'Davious White that we're not going to have. So that's going to be something to look out for, in this week's matchup in Kansas City. Those are 2 big things you want to look at. So with that being said, I did have the opportunity to speak with Dr. Josh. All right. And, his whole demeanor is just so different from his rookie season. He's so locked in and ready to roll. Oh, we got a call? Okay, finally, we got a caller. Welcome to Late Night Sports Caller. State your case.
This is Tyler from Buffalo.
Ty, what's going on, my guy? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
All right. What you got for me today? What you got for me in the torch?
It's gonna be a close game, like you said. We're lacking Trey White, so I'm really interested how we're gonna stop. But I think if we can put 2 guys on him and limit everyone else. Like, I'm not worried about. We had the defensive line pressure.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have Russo. We didn't have Espenzo. We didn't have Batchel. They weren't on the team last year. And doing great with rotation.
Yeah, they've been doing a real good job with that rotation as of late. And, the emergence of Harrison Phillips, Ed Oliver, he's had a breakout season thus far. You're right. They didn't have Rousseau, but Rousseau came up with that big interception in game 2, just using his limb. So, he's a much better player. Don't forget, I don't even think Espinoza played in that game. So, this is a Bills defensive front right now that's really getting after it. And if they're able to get those pressures up against, Kansas City's front, then yeah, it's going to be a long day for Kansas City. And I don't care how explosive their offense is because we have the number one defense.
Phillips, he stepped up big time this year. He came off a lingering injury. He's missed a lot of time from last year to this year. And Harrison Phillips has been an X factor. He's been huge.
Yes, he's been huge. I don't know what's got into horrible Harry, but I like it. So, hey, give us a prediction, Tyler. What do you think the score is going to be on Sunday? Mason.
I'd like to 43 to 35, 43 to 28. If the defense can step up, stop them, and Buffalo just comes out guns blazing like they did a balanced game, they're going to have to make them reliable. We have so many weapons. We have Diggs, we have Davis, we have Sanders, we have Kenzie. Singletary steps up on the run too.
Right.
If you're going to cover the run, cover the pass, it's going to be hard to stop Allen and Singletary. Allen will scramble about 60 yards this week.
Oh, without a doubt, that's his norm. He's going to at least get 60 a clip, if anything. Quarterback number 1, that's what he does. But you couldn't be more spot on, Tyler, in reference to Devin Singletary. The Bills have to have balance in order to defeat Kansas City. We can't be one-dimensional, even though we were trying one-dimensional the second time around, but Devin Singletary was still able to make plays in the receiving game. So, but
I'd like to say if they try to stop the run, they're going to get prepared. So if they try to stop the pass, they're going to get beat by the run.
Right, but do remember the big bad bully Chris Jones did not play in in that game, week 5. So that's going to be something that I'm going to be on the lookout for because that's the only guy that really concerns me when it comes to Kansas City's defense. Well, we know what he did to John Feliciano last year.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So John, he's not going to start. Our guards is Uncle Rick, a.k.a. Ryan Bates, and Daryl Wims. All right. So we're going to definitely see. I think he's going to bounce around between the two. Hopefully I get the opportunity to speak with Uncle Rick this week so I can get him all riled up for Mr. Jones. And, like I said, it's going to be a battle. The Bills have not relinquished the Shaq, and I don't know how long. It was a couple of games now. They haven't really given up a sack. And we're going to see if that continues. But Tyler, hey, man, I appreciate you calling in. And let everybody know where you're calling from, man. Oh, he's gone? Oh, okay. All right. Shout out to my guy, Tyler, man, for calling in. But, nevertheless, hey, when we return, we will talk about Dr. Josh. We got Dr. Josh coming up. Right. We got my boy Stephaness coming up. And then, we're going to get into, update some scores from my man Torch. And then we're going to talk about is Devin Singletary or how Devin Singletary will be the difference maker in this Bills victory. Make sure you keep it locked and legendary. You're tuned into the wufo 1080 AM on Power 96.5. Get a job. What's up? Mason, what's
Mix
good?
1080 AM WUFO and Power 96.5. These contest rules are in full effect for all contests at all times. To enter, listen to the station and follow instructions as announced over the air. You may only enter each
Mason,
contest
what's up? Hey,
once.
Mason, we
No
gotta
cash
talk, all right?
substitutes
We
or
gotta hit me
non-cash
up.
prize substitutes
Got
will be
something for you.
permitted. Prizes are not transferable, redeemable for cash, or exchangeable for any other prize. All prizes
Big
must
Turd.
be redeemed within 30 days of the contest end date and picked up at the
Get a
WUFO
job,
studio
Nani,
between
get
the
a
hours
job.
of 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. Monday through Friday. Participants and winners
So, yeah,
must
when
be
we
at
come
least
back, we'll
12
go
years
back with
old,
those
as
interviews.
determined by the company,
And then,
unless otherwise stated. Only one entry per
We're
person,
gonna get
only one
into
prize per
Devin
household for
Singletary.
each contest within
Devin
any 30-day
Singletary. So
period.
probably wanna
Any
find out
listener
his
who
rushing
wins a
stats to
prize
pass
across the
for 4 games.
airwaves
Got 'em
during
already.
any show on
Um,
WUFO radio
And then we
will
get
be
into the rest
required
of the
to fill
NFL. We
out and
update
submit
scores
their
after that.
prize winner
And then we
sheet
get into
online. The
Devo
prize winner
versus
sheet
Green
can be
Bay. I know
found
you want
on
to
our
talk about
website
that.
at
Cincy and Tennessee. Yeah, we might as well throw the Tampa Bay and
under the
Rams in as well.
contest tab. Employees of
We'll
Vision
touch on those
Multimedia
topics
Group
and then we'll
contest
see where we are.
sponsors, their
We got time,
agencies
then
or
we'll talk about
representatives
the
and employees
fan
of
stuff.
other radio broadcasting companies are
Sure.
prohibited from participating in any contest.
Yeah, we got to
on
give
the
a
station or
prediction today because
sponsored
it's
by the
Wednesday.
station.
So,
Contest rules can be viewed on the station's website at Power 965.
so we got those two. We got those two, right?
You know that statement that they
Right.
talk about.
Yeah, come back with
just
Russo
spending
though.
one day with us at Roswell. I'm gonna tell you the truth. I said, man, that is the corniest line, but the most honest.
Huh?
Lavon Amos shares some of the wisdom he
Russo on
gained
the
during
intro,
his
yeah.
cancer journey.
Because if you spend one day to get the information that they have to offer, you're gonna hear what I heard. You're
Where
gonna
Tyler
feel
from?
what I felt.
As Lavon
Buffalo.
says,
Yes.
it might sound corny, but it's so important to spend just one
Nah,
day
something for
with our
Tyler.
doctors here at Roswell
From
Park
Buffalo.
before you make
Shout out
any
to Tyler.
decisions on your cancer
Good, Tyler.
treatment. They'll talk with experts in your specific
I got some for
cancer
Rachel's
who are
and
at
renew
the
my
forefront
cards
of
when I
the
get
latest
one. I
treatments,
gotta make it
including some that may only be
You watch
available at Roswell.
You heard that,
When I
Tyler.
still hear it, I still laugh because it's so corny. Because it's so true.
Before you make
Rise
any
up, family.
treatment
What's
decisions,
good, man? I appreciate y'all
call
tuning
Kip
in.
Sweeney at 1-800
You know what I mean?
Roswell.
Give us a
to
call.
spend
Let us know
one
what
day
you're
with
thinking,
us.
man.
Or
Any game. It ain't
just
got to be Bills,
simplypodcast.org.
Chiefs. You know what I mean? It could be Tampa Bay Rams. It could be Cincy. You know, whatever. Hit us up.
For sure.
Shout out to the station. Keep on tuning in day in and day out. Let's get it. Keep tuning in to
Big
wufo for late
Turd.
night sports on Mondays and Wednesdays.
How my guy doing out there?
It's not a reach.
Oh, man. Might want to keep that joint going. Keep it going. I might spit a hot 16. Last week, Kansas City didn't respect their jaw because Josh hit him with the surgery with the chainsaw. Dr. Josh, surgery with the chainsaw. New England didn't respect their jaw. It's your boy Mookie Hawkins. This is Late Night Sports. I'm in the booth with my man Torch Robinson, Andre Diaz, on the ones and twos, DJ Ready Rob. All right, we are back.
Yeah, that
we
was
having
good,
an
man.
awesome show. I kind of mad because that didn't like coincide. I didn't hit the beat right. You know what I mean? I ain't hit the beat right. Next time I'm gonna hit that thing right. I'm definitely gonna hit that thing right.
That was good.
You know what I mean? Big Lamb, what's good with you, my guy? I see you tuned in. Shout out to everybody on social media right now that's locked and loaded with the legendary Wufo, 1080 a.m. on Power 96.5. All right, we just kicking it live, doing late night sports. I want to send a special shout out to my boss, Miss Sheila Brown. All right, GPS, make sure y'all go get that book. It is still ringing. All right, that's what we doing. We got a lot of things, a lot of projects coming up digitally, and we can't wait to display what's going on in 2022 right here at Wufo. Hey, first place. What is good with you? Listen up, listen up. My boy Josh Allen, man. Surgery with the chainsaw. No, everybody knows that I got probably like 4 or 5 nicknames from my guy Josh Allen. You know what I mean? And it varies. It depends on what type of game he has. All right. Last week he was Josh Alicious. Okay. This week I had to take him back to Dr. Josh because it was surgery with a chainsaw. And when I mean surgery with a chainsaw, I mean he just went completely crazy against New England. Hopefully he can be Dr. Josh again this week because we need him to bring that same damn chainsaw to Arrowhead. All right. So, I had an opportunity to speak with my guy, and you tell me what you think about Josh Allen and his mindset right now.
Dr. Josh, Mookie Hawkins, Wufo Sports 1080. How you doing today, man?
Good, Luke. Good to see you.
Once again, you performed surgery with a chainsaw, throwing for more touchdowns than incompletions. Now, how much do you think about what you said on draft day to prepare your mindset for games like this?
Again, I think whenever a quarterback's drafted in the first round, they expect you to get to a position like this and to play in big games like this. So, we've had a couple opportunities the last couple of years, and it's no different this year. We've given ourselves a chance to accomplish what we want to accomplish. Now it's up to us to go out there and execute and try to go put our best foot forward on Sunday against a really good team. We know that, they know that it's going to be a dogfight, as playoff games always are. So again, we're excited for an opportunity to go out there and play another game. Not many people are playing football this late, and we know that. So we're not taking this opportunity lightly.
Now, Josh, you have adjusted, you have persevered. How does this team overcome Sunday and put the Chiefs to bed at Arrowhead?
Again, it's easier said than done. I'll tell you that. It's a team that they don't lose many games in the playoffs, especially at home. And they're playing some really good football right now. Again, I think everybody in the world knows who the Chiefs are, and they're hard to beat, especially at home. So we got to go put our best foot forward and try to execute game plan.
Hey, man, have a great week of practice and good luck on Sunday.
Thank you.
All right, that was Dr. Josh, and you tell me, Buffalo, what do you think of his mindset? Do he sound focused? Do he sound locked in, Torch? You know what I mean?
Yeah, he definitely does. He sounds like someone who's been in the league a couple years. He sounds like someone who I always heard this saying about when you've been there, act like you've been there.
Right.
And I feel like he's acting like he's been there. But this time he want to do more than just be there. He wants to be there and then get to the next level and elevate. And he sounds super focused. I know a lot of people say, well, the Bills haven't done nothing in years. I've heard those sentiments plenty of times. But I like the way Josh Allen is calm, cool, collected. He's even keeled.
Yeah.
And I expect to see another surgical game come Sunday night.
No doubt. Hey, Big Unc, man, I love you too, man. Shout out to my Uncle Rico, man, timing in all the way from Atlanta, tuning in. You know what I mean? Just showing love on Facebook right now. But, yeah, man, I mean, he looked like he's locked in. I mean, you look like they learned from the experiences. You know what I mean? It's all based upon the experiences. Like I said before, it goes all the way back to having that feeling in Houston. And then after that, something clicked. Those guys ran the table last year and made it all the way to the AFC Championship game. One game away from football heaven. So they got the taste of everything except getting to the Super Bowl. So once again, they're not too high. They're not too low. They know what's at stake right now. So they're just focusing up and continuing to have that mindset, that growth mindset that Coach McDermott talks about so much. That's going to prepare these guys, and hopefully it will propel them to victory this week. You know what I mean? So it seems like the quarterback, he's real focused, he's real locked in, and you're right. He has been there before. This is nothing to him. The furthest he's been was an AFC Championship game, and he know what it takes to get there again. It's just, hey, Kansas City is in the way of that now instead of meeting them in the AFC Championship game. So they're going to have to take care of business. They're going to have to put them to bed in Arrowhead. That's right. That's what I said. All right. And, get the damn thing done. Now, when that happens, we have another game that's being played, Cincinnati and Tennessee. What do you take from that? Can Joe Burrow and company go to Tennessee? And I don't want to even say do the unthinkable. Can they go there and pull off the upset, George?
Well, first and foremost, shout out to Jamar Chase, who's the offensive rookie of the year.
Oh,
by the way, good luck. Congratulations to chasing your dreams, Mr. Chase. I remember in the beginning of the year, I heard some things about you can't catch NFL football, and you showed people, you proved people wrong, and the naysayers now are believers. That's what you do. That's what real kings do. So shout out to you, Jamar Chase. Shout out to you for that. Joe Burrow, phenomenal quarterback coming in He should be the comeback player of the year. He should be.
Oh, without a doubt, Joe Burrow is the comeback player of the year.
Joe Burrow should be the comeback player of the year, no question. If he's not, there's a problem.
What did they finish? 4-12 last year?
Yes.
Or something like that.
4-12
here it is. They won the
last
division.
year.
They won the division this year. So without a doubt, he's the comeback player.
You win the division, and I was one who was very high on the Bengals. I'm glad that I believed in them somewhat. And they're proving that they belong. Okay, they are proving they belong, and they can beat the Titans. They can make the Titans become the little Titans. Okay, they can make them become Teen Titans coming up, where they'll be at home watching Cartoon Network next week if they ain't careful.
Well, King Henry is back now.
That's okay.
King Henry is back. With Julio Jones, I guess he's finally healthy. AJ Brown. I mean, you got to have your dogs. This is the playoffs, so all the dogs is out of the kennel. We're just gonna see who got the best damn dogs in this playoffs. Because you're right, they do have the weapons to go into Tennessee and get the job done.
They do,
especially with Tennessee's secondary being one of the worst in the NFL. All right, let's not forget that the Tennessee Titans. Cornerbacks and safeties, other than Kevin Byard, who's a dog. He's the only dog out there in that secondary. He covers a lot of ground. Without him back there, they're still one of the worst secondaries, pass defenses in the NFL. With guys like Tyler Boyd, Jamar Chase, who you just mentioned, T. Higgins, and then obviously, they do have a good tight end in CJ. And then you got Mixon, who's a pound and ground running back who also can catch out of the
top five running back this year.
So they have explosive weapons offensively. It's just going to be, what's going to go on with their defense. Hendrickson, who's dealing with concussions. Ogunleye, I think he's either have a groin injury or a bad foot. So they're kind of nicked up front. But once again,
that defense has been the X factor though this year, especially the secondary. Yeah. Don't forget they got Jesse Bates back there and Bell back there who will ring a bell or two. Yeah, man, I like what Cincinnati has done on defense for majority of the season, and they very well can get it done.
Now here's the kicker: they play Saturday.
Yes, they do.
So if they pull off this unthinkable, if they pull this thing off, if they pull this upset off,
even more motivation for Sunday.
Even more fuel to the fire for the Bills to go out there and take care of business, because guess where the game is going to be played when the Bills beat Kansas City? The road to the Super Bowl will go through Highmark, a.k.a. the Ralph, right? We still calling that thing the Ralph. Shout out to Highmark, no disrespect, but hey, man, Ralph Wilson built that thing. This is the house that Ralph Wilson built. And I'll tell you this. Cincinnati is not going to have a chance if it comes down to just the route to the Super Bowl in Buffalo. That is just not going to happen. So that's going to be extra more incentive for the Bills to go out there and take care of business. I'll tell you this. When that happens, if that happens, the Bills, just look out. They're going to go in there and they're going to destroy Kansas City. Yeah, I get it. Kansas City, they're this high-scoring team, and then quote-unquote they was back because the first 5-6 games things were looking ugly for them the first 6 games. They were questioning Patrick Mahomes, and all of a sudden they got it together, and then first they love you, then they hate you, then they love you again. In the words of Jay-Z, you know what I mean? So that's how that works. So we're going to see when they play the Bills this time around. I know they got some fuel to the fire too, because the Bills went into Kansas City and pretty much beat them up pretty bad, 38-20. So they got some motivation. Chris Jones didn't play in that game. Willie Clay ain't playing that game. They got Ingram now. So once again, this is going to be a battle up front to see who's going to dominate, who's going to destroy who's going to win their battles, who's going to get who on for third down, who's going to be kicking field goals rather than scoring touchdowns. So it's going to be a lot of things that's going to play a factor in this game.
Well, I mean, the mantra is the same for the Buffalo Bills. I mean, first the fat boys wake up every day. I mean, every day I wake up, somebody got a problem with Buffalo.
Right.
Okay. In the words of Jay. Okay. In the words of Jay. We can shoot that. You know what I mean? Let's go, man. Buffalo going to do their thing. I got them 34-24, by the way.
34-24. I'm going to rack off my prediction right now. I'm going to say Bills. What did I say? I said Bills 36, Kansas City 27. That's what I'm gonna say with that. Bills get the job done, 36-27. Now, if they let the Bills do what they did against New England and then Bills just jump out on them early, yeah, that's what it's going to be, 36-27. And Kansas City is going to score some points. All right, they're going to score some points, but it's not going to be enough to withstand, especially if Buffalo jump out in front early. All right, so I predict 36-27. Bills move on, whether they got to go face Tennessee or, Cincinnati knock off those boys and they come here. And if they come here, Buffalo, look out, get ready to go to L.A. All right, so moving on, we have San Fran and Green Bay. Debo and Trent Williams, can they walk in the trap and take over Green Bay's trap? Big Torch, I know you're a Green Bay guy. I know you're a Green Bay guy. So, I mean, what are the odds? What are the odds that Green Bay, that San Fran even make a game of this? I'm not even saying that going in there and pulling a thing off. What are the odds that San Fran can go into the frozen tundra and make a game of it?
Well, first and foremost, if we're talking about quarterbacks who have been even keel, Aaron Rodgers is on his way. He's on his way to a second MVP award, in my opinion. He's there. He's ready to handle business. San Francisco, I just feel sorry that you the first round knockout. You give me a first round exit for the Packers. I know you won last week. Kudos to you knocking off Dallas, because Green Bay's the Cowboy Killers anyway, so they really didn't want no smoke. But Aaron Rodgers and them are going to handle business. They've handled business all year with players who wasn't even around for majority of the season, and they're back to being healthy. Jari Alexander is back. Zadarius Smith is back. That front four is not playing. Rashawn Gary is playing at a high clip, high level, and then you got one of the best. Front fours, and those guys are playing right now. So I mean, they've literally won in all facets of the game this year. Okay, I just want to put that out there. We talked about Green Bay and their past lack of defense last year and the year before. It's not that way this year. I think Aaron Rodgers is on a mission to handle business, and I think LA will be Packers and Bills, and I can't wait because finally, and not in the Rock's voice, but finally, we get to see the Packers and Bills, which will be a phenomenal Super Bowl. I can't wait.
We saw him in the preseason, but that don't count. Rodgers ain't playing that game. I guess that was his first time actually coming back, because remember, he was in a little situation with the organization.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
absolutely.
Things have changed since then. And they did play San Fran during the course of the season. What was the score in that game?
Oh, my goodness. We played San Francisco twice since the last NFC Championship loss, and I think they beat them handily, very handily. I would have to go back and look. Maybe y'all can call in 716-837-1112 and tell us what the score of the Green Bay Packers San Francisco 49ers game was. All right. By the way, Debo, great player. It's just not Friday. This is not on a Friday. This is on a Saturday. Sorry to tell you, Saturday night.
Debo only works on Friday.
Right. Only
Saturday.
on Friday. Only on Friday for you. Okay. This ain't Friday.
Well, San Fran is dealing with injuries. You got Nick Bosa, who's dealing with a concussion. You got Fred Warner, who's dealing with a nagging ankle injury. So those are two key players on that defense. But you got Jimmy G, obviously, dealing with that bad thumb and now a shoulder injury. So, could it possibly, sometimes, coming off those first round buys, you can develop some rust. Now, can that happen? Now, if that happens, San Fran is coming in a hot team now.
They are.
Right? Even though they nicked up, in the words of Herm Edwards, you play the game to win.
Absolutely.
All right. So
can Jimmy G get it done?
Yeah, that's the thing. Can Jimmy G get it done? But Kyle Shanahan is a hell of a head coach and an offensive coordinator, a hell of an offensive mind. I mean, he has recipe after recipe. His father did win a couple of Super Bowls. All right. So he know what to do in these type of situations. And they do have a good run game. All right, let's not forget they do have a run game. So if they could potentially rack off some runs, keep Aaron Rodgers and them off the field, anything is possible. Anything is possible. I'm just saying.
So the last two games, actually, it's very interesting. The last two games that Green Bay and San Francisco has played, you got to remember the thriller, the 30-28 thriller on Monday Night Football when everybody thought San Francisco was going to win. 34 seconds was left on the clock.
Yeah.
Ha, ha, ha. It wasn't laughing after triple zeros hit that clock, though. Nevertheless, and then they beat San Francisco also 34-17. But here's something that needs to be mentioned. From the 2010 to 2020 years, San Francisco played Green Bay 3 times in the playoffs. Do you want to know what their record is against Green Bay?
Probably 0-3.
It's 3-0. The San Francisco 49ers beat them all 3 times.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. What you got to say about that, Ready Rob? So, I mean, so the swag is through the roof there. So that means they're not scared to go in there trap and take over the trap. That's all I'm saying.
No, they're not scared.
They're not scared to walk in that trap and take over the trap. Now, they come out the locker room with the big boom box. Last week, it was Super Gremlin by Kodak Black. The week before that,
Yes,
it was walk in the trap and take over the trap.
Yes, it was. I saw that.
Cardi Boy and all them, Bankroll Fresh and them.
Yes,
What's it going to be coming out of the Frozen Tundra locker room this week? Walk in that trap, take over that trap.
Well, guess what's going to happen? That boombox is going to be real cold and frozen. By the time they hit that field, it's going to get frozen.
Yeah,
I hope they playing CDs or nothing.
That's going to be a great game. That's going to be a great game. Give me a prediction to that game.
My prediction to that game is real simple. This one is a 34-20 beatdown. Aaron Jones and Devontae Adams and others will produce. Oh, by the way, A.J. Dillon, phenomenal running back, 250 pounds of nothing but sheer talent running the football. If I'm Green Bay, I'm beating them up. I'm going to beat them up. I'm going to run the football a lot and throw when I need to. Aaron Rodgers has definitely done a great job this year of being able to mix up the run and pass. All right. This team ain't one-dimensional. He hasn't had to force a lot, and the 37 touchdowns and 4 interceptions say so. Okay, that's a 9-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio for those who don't know. All right, he hasn't had to force the ball much this year, and when you got 250 pounds plus of sure talent with Aaron Jones, I'd be beating San Francisco right up. All right, 34-20. It's gonna be real simple. Debo. They not making no more Fridays. All right.
I'm going to say that the game is going to be actually closer, but I do see Green Bay winning and moving on. I'm going to say Green Bay 29, San Fran 23. All right. I'm going to give them that because, Aaron Rodgers is once again playing in MVP form, but it's still, I think that race is close between him and Tom Brady. You got to give it up to Tom Brady at the age what he's doing. So I think that race is between those two guys.
It is.
That race is between those two guys. And, right now I say 51-49 Tom Brady. But we'll see. These games do matter. All right. And moving on to Tampa Bay and the Rams. What are your thoughts on that matchup?
Bruce Arians, you ain't gonna be able to strike players this week.
Yeah, he got $550,000 for that.
Listen,
this ain't little league, Bruce Arians. Okay, you cannot be walking out on the field hitting grown men in the head. Yeah, I don't know what that was about, but he walked onto the field and he just smacked one of his players right in the head. I don't know for what reason. I don't know if it was a little skirmish or whatever. He just went out there and smacked dude in the head. And everything now that Antonio Brown is saying about BA, I'm starting to look at him a little bit more different now.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I can't wait to see somebody else say something about BA in reference to that. They're not going to say it now because they're on the team. When the person retire or a person go to another team, some more stuff is going to come out to that. Right now everybody's ridiculing AB on whatever, but I still have not seen footage of BA talking to AB about, we need you to get back out there or get the F off the field. You're done. I don't see that. So somebody's lying. You know what I mean? Somebody's definitely lying. But Tampa Bay versus the Rams, man. The Rams was flawless.
Don't worry. Tampa Bay is getting smacked this week. Don't worry. He's going to be smacking some more players this week because I'm telling you right now, the Rams, I know that they may be one of the overrated teams that people look at and call them overrated. But I will tell you this, that offense ain't overrated. Cam Akers being back. OBJ ain't playing no games. First playoff touchdown catch.
Did you see what Akers did to my man Buda Baker? I'm
glad
he's okay. I'm glad he is okay. One-on-one in the whole tackle alley.
I seen it.
I don't know, but they got Levante David and they got Devin White. They got some nasty linebackers over there in Tampa Bay. It's good. These games here are all great games, are all great matchups. 1 versus 4 battle, except for San Fran being the 6th seed.
So there's 2 teams that I feel like have the Buccaneers numbers: the Saints and the Rams. And the Rams are very physical on defense. And they got Jalen Ramsey out there this week. The matchup is going to get real.
Well, they went all in. It was Super Bowl or bust, with the acquisitions to go out there and get Von Miller and OBJ.
Do Von Miller get a sack on Tom Brady? Because Von Miller, how he is when he plays Tom Brady.
Listen, their line is banged up. I think they had 2 linemen that went down.
Yes, they did.
So that's definitely going to play.
Tristan Wirfs.
In the center, and Jensen.
So
that's going to be a big factor in that matchup right here, because right now their defensive line is not playing any game. So give us a prediction on that.
Listen, I got LA winning this one 31-23, and it's going to be a scorcher. Tampa Bay, y'all might as well get ready to be upset and disappointed. Tom Brady has been a great year. It's been a great year, but it's going to be time for you to sit on down because Aaron Donald and them is not playing this week. I think there's going to be even more motivation for the Rams to knock off the Super Bowl champs this week. And they got the firepower on both ends. Let's go.
Yeah, they definitely got the firepower on both ends, and I do think it's kind of like a continuation of what they did with the Arizona Cardinals. So I'm going to go out and say Rams 40.
Take them.
Tampa Bay 30.
Take them.
It's going to be a shootout, but, Rams right now just got too much firepower. Even though I respect Tampa Bay's front 7 on defense, but, hey, they secondary can lose some battles. Antoine Winfield Jr. is playing like a beast. And once again, they do have a great defensive coordinator over there. And Tampa Bay. So it's going to be quite the matchup, but I think that the Rams just have a little bit more firepower. But it's going to be take the over, all right? If anybody listen, you definitely want to take the over in that game. I'm going 40-30. The Rams move on.
Some people are saying Stafford going to choke because, last week was his first playoff win.
They're going to run the ball. They got Sony Michel, they got Cam Akers.
That's what I'm saying.
And that's where play action is going to kill them. And then let's not forget about the tight end and Tyler Higbee as well. All right,
the balance is going to be real.
I'm giving it that, So we didn't do a prediction for Cincy and Tennessee, though. Give us a prediction.
I got one 27-21. Tennessee. Can Ryan Tannehill get the job done? He did not. The last time y'all was in the playoffs, Baltimore bounced y'all. Cincinnati looks even better than Baltimore, as it's indicative to the beatdowns that Cincinnati gave Baltimore. So I'm going to say Cincinnati 27, Tennessee 21. Go home, Tennessee, or stay at home, Tennessee. How about that?
Who you picking, Tennessee or Cincy?
I'm picking Cincy.
You taking Cincy?
I'm riding.
Yeah, I'm smelling an upset too. I'm smelling an upset too. I think that Joe Burrow and company go in there and get that job done. They're gonna have great balance, and and I don't want to say that Tennessee is taking them lightly, but they just got a better offense. I mean, nobody's talking about what Cincinnati did to Kansas City 2-3 weeks ago. Nobody's talking about that. Everybody's just still sweating Kansas City like they're just the greatest gift. And Patrick Mahomes, they've been in the AFC Championship 3 years in a row, and Josh Allen and company, they haven't been anywhere. I mean, I'm tired of all these old narratives. You know, it's just all about what have you done for me lately. All right. And Tennessee is one of those teams that's on fire as well. You know, but what scares me is that you can't score on Tennessee. The Raiders almost bounced back in that game. But I don't know. Maybe Cincinnati got a little bit lackadaisical and took the foot off the gas. But I do think they bring that gas to Tennessee, and they upset Tennessee 33-27.
Tannehill, 2 interceptions in this game, too. Tannehill, 21-17.
Yeah, Tannehill can't win the ball game. All right, Tannehill's like, you know, a slight upgrade of Carson Wentz. He's not gonna lose the ball game for you, but he's definitely not gonna win it for you either. All right, so you know, I say Cincinnati go in there and pull this upset off, and the Bills are going to be so turned up come Sunday to go out there and handle business. All right, so hey, those are your matchups for this week. How about some scores? What's going on today in the sports world?
All right. Well, first and foremost, you asked the question about Devin Singletary while I get these sports scores to you. Kansas City's run defense is 21st, by the way. I just want to put that out there. 21st. Devin Singletary has had almost 3 100-yard games in the last 3 weeks, by the way. 110, 88, and 88, and that's with a balanced offense and Josh Allen still doing this thing. So I expect Devin Singletary to put in work again this week. Is Matt Breida still around? We're gonna use
he's still around. You know,
okay.
He said he's smoking on that New England pack. That's how crazy my man Breida is. He put that out on Twitter. But let's get some update scores in the NBA.
Now, NBA has been quite interesting. How about those Lakers? That's 22-22. Right now, they're in the first quarter against the Pacers, 15-10. The Kings 51-46 over the Pistons right now. You got the Clippers clipping the struggle Nuggets. I call them the struggle Nuggets when they play terrible. 52-38. Rockets 98-92 in the fourth quarter. Come on, Jazz. You're supposed to be making them take note.
No Donovan Mitchell. And the Rockets just scored a 3-point basket too. So it's getting ugly. The Mavericks 198, 7 seconds left in that one against the Raptors. You have the 76ers who beat the Magic. The Magic. 123-110. Nets squeaked by the Wizards 119-118. Hawks 134-122. Up-and-coming team. I like Atlanta and what they've been doing the last couple of years. Hornets, another up-and-coming team. 111-102 over the Celtics. Heat. White hot in this one. 104-92 over the Blazers. Is it time for Damian Lillard to leave? He's hurt. He's out 6 to 8 weeks with a abdominal muscle.
I still would leave if I was him. He deserves so much more. Bulls 117-104 over the Cavs. The most impressive team, the Bulls, this year.
Absolutely. So, hey, I appreciate those scores. And with that being said, from my co-host, Andre the Torch Robinson, and my man, DJ Ready Rob on the ones and twos. That's all we have, folks, for Late Night Sports. I appreciate everybody tuning in. My Rise Up family, I appreciate you for tuning in, staying locked and loaded and live with us all day long, and all my people on Twitter and Facebook. I appreciate you guys a great deal. We're going to have a great pregame show coming up this weekend. All right, we're going to have a mighty Oba. We're going to do some podcasts and pregaming, leading up to Sunday's matchup. Make sure you keep it locked and legendary. Stay tuned on the Power Page 96.5. Western New York. We're going to be giving you all the great stuff leading up to Sunday's matchup between the Bills and Chiefs. With that being said, I'm your host, Mookie Hawkins. Make sure you stay safe, be healthy, and wash your hands.
Your local Staples is saying thanks in a big way.
We hear something?
Shit.
That's what I was going to ask earlier. I was going to ask
Sunday.
earlier. Right. And the game is 6.
Woo, I don't know about that one.
Ooh-wee.
I don't know about that one. I'm about to call the boss like boss. I don't know.